Okay. Good morning. It's top of the hour here, and it's time for our office hours, our Q&A. My name is Arnitha Webb, and let me just set the tone for what this session is all about for the community. This is a time where I've set aside for us to come together and you can ask any question, big or small. Nothing is there's no real agenda. The only time I really create an agenda, if you will, is if no one shows up live. Then I pull from questions that I've seen over the week. Those questions could have come from your personal chats to me. They could have come from DMs from Instagram. They could come from comments from YouTube videos, just all over the place. I will just randomly pull questions. Now, if there is a question that you want me to specifically address and you know you're not going to make it here live, but you want to be able to come back to this recording, then please send that question into me through the chat and let me know that you're not going to make it, but I will definitely address it so that you can click on the recording and still get your response. Um, I want this to also be a safe space so that you can hear from each other as well. Okay, so as we continue to do these bi-weekly, you will be able to come on camera, introduce yourselves, ask your questions, and use it as an informative time for us. Okay. So that said, let me begin. Let me look through some things. I do have some things that's top of mind, if you will, just because I have a video that is on YouTube that has gotten a lot of comments, and some of you may have actually found this community through that video. And if that's the case, welcome. Absolutely welcome. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if I can just, oh God, I got so much. Let's see. Um, okay. Okay. So yes, I offered in the community a recommendation for where to stay in Germany and Austria. I put in the community Smartments, and I put a couple of pictures there. I gave you the link to the walkthrough of the studio that I rented there for 3 months, and I've stayed both in Germany and in Austria using Smartments. I've used them several times. I love them. But someone asked, for another recommendation that's more like a hotel. So I would say another recommendation that I can personally attest to, I believe the name of it was Arion, Arion, Arion Hotel or Arion City Hotel. I stayed at Arion the very first time I was in Austria. And I remember I wanted something a little bit off of the beaten path, but not too far, of course. I'm traveling solo. I took an overnight train in and I arrived early and very early. Um, I remember the room, and as a matter of fact, I will put pictures up. I will put pictures up because I do have pictures, and I will do like sort of the same kind of post that I did for Smartmints with this. But what really stood out to me was number one, the cost. The cost, if I remember correctly, was like under $60 a night. Now, under $60 a night, when we're thinking, in American standards, we think, oh, this is going to be some seedy place, right? It was anything but. Um, it had a full refrigerator, kitchen, full size refrigerator, not the typical short refrigerator that you think you're going to have in a hotel. The bed was extremely comfortable. It had a really nice deep tub in the bathroom. I remember the bathroom was all marble. Um, it was a very nice day. Now, breakfast, I don't recall breakfast being all that great, and that's kind of strange because honestly, the food in Austria is really good. But the breakfast I thought was just okay. They do a breakfast buffet. Um, this is not the type of hotel if you're big on a lot of personal service. It's not that, but the people are super, super nice. Like you may go down to the bar and expect it to be open, right? And it may not be open, but you'll see someone or a guy, and they will go back there and make whatever you want. You just just speak to them and what have you. It's kind of like that. It's not like like five people at a front desk waiting for you. I noticed that they did receive a lot of groups, so it's a very popular hotel. It was about a if I remember correctly, maybe 15 minutes on the bus to get, like city center, by the Opera House. So I would recommend that place in Austria as well. Okay. Um, I got a lot of questions regarding healthcare. And I think these questions mostly came in from inside the community and YouTube, looks like. So, if you go to my page, my what I call my HQ, my headquarter site, and what I will do, you know what? Why not make this a little engaging, shall we? I know it's not a training. I want to make it a training. I don't want our office hours to become a training, but let me share screen. I hope you can see screen here and just go over to more and you can go down to, so I went to arnithawebb.com. Okay. And then go right here to the top navigation and go to more and click on global insurance. And you do have a checklist you can download there. But if you come down to the bottom, you'll see some options here. Well, I'm just going to click on the very first one, which was light, travel light. These are policies that maximum coverage is up to $1 million. Um, what else can I say about the travel light? It's up to $1 million. You can definitely control. You don't have to get it for a year. You can get it, for the length of time that you're traveling. So you see, once I click on that, you can self-quote very easily. Okay, just put in your travel dates and we can just, put in some random travel dates here. Let's say we're traveling in February and to the end of February. Okay, 19 days here. Well, okay, key. This is so key. Always say no. Because if you say yes, your premium is going to blow up. Okay. Now, when it comes to IMG policies, there is some US time built into it. In other words, if you have a policy that's for a few months and you need to come back to the States for a week, well, you're automatically going to be covered for that week. I believe it's a maximum of, I don't want to say 14, I'm going to say 10, just to be on the safe side. I would have to double check it again because it's been a minute and carriers are always making changes and I don't want to misspeak. But I can safely say if you come back for a week, you'll be covered and you don't have to indicate yes to something like that. But if you're going to be coming back, staying for a few months and then going back abroad and what have you, and you want the same policy to be covering you, then you would say yes. But in most cases, don't ever say yes here. Okay, just say no. Okay. Now, what country, what's the primary? The reason why it says what primary country is because if you're going to be moving around country hopping, they want to know, well, where is sort of going to be your base? Where's going to be the country that you're going to stay the longest? Okay. And so in that case, let me just make sure I put on my do not disturb here. Okay, just dawned on me. There we go. All righty. So let's just say hypothetically, your country that you're going to Oh, I'm just gonna randomly pick. I was getting ready to look for a specific country, not necessary. Okay, there we go. And now you put in your age, gender, citizenship, and so forth. So let's just say that you are 55 and you are a female, and your citizenship, of course, is a U.S. citizen, and your residence would be U.S. as well. And let's just say that you are from Arizona, okay? If you want to add a spouse or children, go ahead and do so, add an additional insured, okay? But let's just complete this for the 19 days. And here you are, okay? So you can see the limits right here. Okay, 50,000 to a million. Okay. Now, the quote is starting at a policy maximum of 100,000. You can take that down to 50,000 if you choose to, but you can take it all the way up to a million. Let's put it back at the 100 for a second. Be mindful here that this is a zero deductible. And so for the full 19 days, it's 83 bucks. Okay. Now you want to take that up to $1 million policy. Oops, I did that in the wrong spot. Let's keep it at zero deductible. $1 million policy, you're only adding a few dollars to it. So a lot of people automatically do take this up to a million. You can add some other things like, device protection and telehealth and sports and all that sort of thing. And feel free to read thoroughly everything that this is including. Okay. Now, if your question is this the same as what comes up after you purchase an airline ticket? No, it's not. This coverage here is way more comprehensive. What you purchase when that little box that you check off after you buy your airline ticket, that is mostly travel insurance, an emergency health insurance, meaning you tripped and you broke your leg and you have to go into the emergency room, because you had an accident. um your luggage was lost, your flight was delayed. It's things like that. This is all of that, plus it takes on the the benefits of more comprehensive health plan, similar to what you would have in the United States. So you'll notice on the side that it does have that very basic trip protection, but it covers pre-existing conditions. It has dental included. Okay. Again, click on the medical benefits and read through everything here that it covers. Okay. And if you do a comparison to what you're buying when you click that box right after your airline ticket, there is no comparison. Okay. No comparison. So why add on an additional $50, $60 for something that's really only giving you trip protection um, with the airlines, when you can add this and be covered for everything? And under trip protection, it's a lot more comprehensive as well. Okay. So feel free to just, go there and self quote and have at it. Okay. Um, what else would be helpful? And most people, because with the travel medical light, you can extend, if I'm not mistaken, the travel medical light really up to 3 years, and you can go month to month, or if you're applying for a visa and you need to show that you have a policy for a year, you can go ahead and do that as well. If you want to start at $1 million and get, carte blanche, okay, you can and go up to 8 million, then click on quote travel platinum. Okay. And just play around with these. And yeah. Another insurance option, which I don't think I have a link on my site right now. I may re-add it. But another one is my mind just drew a blank. Let me see if I can get a shortcut here. There we go. Okay. Another one is William Russell. Now, if you can also self-quote here, William Russell. Okay. And I'm going to tell you some differences in a second. But with William Russell, at some point on your quotes, I think you have to put in um, um, the agent code, who are you're working with, or who you deal with personally. And so for the agent code, my agent code, I will put in the chat. Okay. Oops. Okay. I will also put that hotel I mentioned in the chat. Arion. And I will do a post with my personal pictures on Arion. Okay. All right. So those are the two things that I've mentioned thus far. So let's just gloss over some differences here. I'm trying to think of the best place to go. Okay, so William Russell is truly expat insurance. Um, they're really good for if you don't have a life insurance plan, especially. Let me go with that first. If you don't have a life insurance plan that will cover you as a resident, as an expat, this is a company that you might want to look at for expat life insurance. Okay. They also have a income protection plan. So this is for people who are moving abroad with an employer, or just want to protect their income. So if something happens to you, you get a diagnosis, and this diagnosis is going to take you out of work for a while. Let's say you're not going to be able to work for 4 to 6 months, and you want an income, you want to replace the income you're used to making. Well, if you're accustomed to making, let's say, 150K a year, and all of a sudden you're not going to be able to work, well, they have income protection plans that can cover like 80% of the income you're going to lose while you're out of work. That's something that's really nice about this company. Um, they also have international health as well. They do their international health a little different than the other company, than IMG Global. So they're very zoned. So they are not focused on the person that's moving around a lot. They're like, more on the stable expat. So they just their underwriting is a little different. Um, but when you're shopping, it's good to have more than one company to compare. It's good to get an understanding about these plans and what your options are. Okay. Information is power. Information is power. So this is another company. Um, they're always changing their website, because as I'm clicking on things, I am looking for something very specific and I'm not seeing it. Uh, but they have changed their site. Anyway, peruse this site. This is a good one as well. This it's something to compare. Okay, I'm not gonna. That's what I'm saying. Okay, let's see. Alrighty. Um. Yeah, I have questions that there was one question that hit my heart, because it was what if you're poor? What if what do you do basically if you don't have the money? I don't know if some of you have heard me say this, but when I first started with RYL Abroad, my biggest challenge was addressing the biggest challenge that I was hearing from others. The biggest challenge I was hearing from others was, this is something that I want to do, but I can't see my way clear financially to do it. And this is why some people assume that they have to wait until they can draw their pension, draw their Social Security so that they can have that stable income. Okay. Some people want to put together, get a remote job and go that route. I guess if you are secure enough in that remote job, I would say if it's, if you're secure enough in it, um, I can't say that that's a wrong way to do it. But if you are putting together multiple remote jobs sort of to make it income, like teaching English as a second language here, working for a few hours with a company there, sort of putting together multiple gigs, so to speak. I think that that's very chancy. That's very, it's not a secure way to do it. Okay. And this is the exact reason why I was developing the program I was developing that I've since put aside because I just brought in Digital Wealth Academy. This is why I brought in Digital Wealth Academy, because I found it to be a comprehensive program that could be used to create a reliable income. Um, I would say if you don't have if you're too far away from a pension or drawing your Social Security, and this is something that you want to do, I would get started yesterday with creating my own income. And we can debate all day on whether or not you look at yourself as an entrepreneur. We can, and when I say we, I don't really mean me. Oh gosh, I don't really mean me, because I find that to be a conversation that has no end. It's there is some mindset and confidence work and internal work that comes along more so for some than others. Okay, when you're doing something out of your comfort zone, the fact that you probably never seen yourself living outside of the US either. Okay. Um, doesn't mean you can't move outside of the US and thrive. So when I hear people say, I'm not an entrepreneur, I've never seen myself as this, that, or the other, I I at this juncture, I don't know what I can do with that a whole lot, because other than to say that if you are in a certain position, you will end up doing different things, like have you not ever changed careers? When you look back over your work history, if you've worked, maybe you worked at a big corporation that was in the energy sector. Did you see yourself working in the energy sector? You may have worked in the fashion industry. Did you see yourself working in fashion industry? You may have worked in both. Did you see yourself working in both? Life is a journey. Life is a journey. And in this day and time, um, technology has made income earning more democratic, and that it's leveled the playing field, and that it doesn't matter. It doesn't take into consideration who you are. It doesn't take into consideration your age, your gender, your religion, your beliefs, your it doesn't take any of that into consideration. It is a level playing field, giving everybody the tools to create some form of income, be it small or big. It may, for one person, it may create an income of $500 a month. And that's what they get consistently, that $500 a month. Whereas for another, it may create a consistent $10,000 a month. You see the wide difference. You see the difference. It's all in what you put out there. What road do you put out there that's going to draw income to you? Because it's not going to happen if you don't create the pathway. But I find that the people who are adverse to it Um, I don't know why they're adverse to. I don't know. I don't know. Perhaps some, I don't know, maybe because there's just so much bullshit out there, so much nonsense, so many people, telling you you can do this, that, or the other, and it's going to be so easy, and it's such crap, so many gurus and all this nonsense out there. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's because you think to yourself, well, I've already worked X amount of years, I'm not trying to create another situation. And here's the beauty of it, and why I say it's so democratic, because if you're the person that's like, look at here, I'm really not trying to work hard, I ain't trying to work at all. Okay, well then you're the person that's going to put something super simple together and just kind of like turn it on autopilot. That's fine. The thing is, you can do what you want. No, there's no right or wrong. There's no, you got to do it this way or that way, you know. Um, and with all the instability and change that we can see going on around us, and that we know, no matter how you think about it or feel about it, we know that we know change is a coming. You can't stop it. So where you are as it occurs is on you. It's which side of it, just where are you going to be, because it's going to happen. You know, I think more of us should embrace creating some type of stream of income, honestly, because there's no downside. There's no downside. Absolutely none. Um, so for all of the comments and questions that I got about what do I do with the income part of I want to move, but I can't, I don't have the funds, I don't have the this, that, and the other. That is something that you can get a grip on and can change. Now, you might say, oh, you're saying that with a whole lot of certainty. I'm saying that with a whole lot of certainty. I'm not giving guarantees, because who can guarantee anything, but I can guarantee that um that you will get something out of it. Like I said, you might be the person that's getting the 500 a month. That may be where you land, but there's no downside. There's no downside. It's almost impossible to to not be profitable online, really. And so I would encourage coming to the community. You see, the community is young, we're growing, but it is the thing that has been of great concern to me, and I want to fill the gaps and help people get there, so that you're not limited, so that you can live the life that you want to live. That is what RYL Abroad is about. Not to give you the pathway, but to give you the means to create your own pathway to live on your own terms. Okay. I also got a question regarding Social Security and things of that nature. Now, I am waiting on a date from our tax partner to see if he's going to be able to come into the community live, or we're going to do a recording with some questions. So I encourage you, send in some questions just in case, because he's been quite busy. But he's trying to set aside some time where he can be in the community live. Um, but send in some questions so that he can address some questions directly. I have to defer to the experts. I, I don't know everything. I have to defer to the experts. He is an expert um, expat um, tax professional, and I have used him for almost 10 years. And yeah, he's a tax accountant, lawyer, and it's going to be a lot of changes in our taxes. Okay. Um, so looking at the time, I think I'm going to wrap wrap it up right here, guys. Alrighty. I will definitely get this video into the community. I hope that in my random selection of questions and even doing the share screen with the insurance that this proves to be worth your time to view. Alrighty. Uh, this evening, we are starting our first night of the Living Abroad Profile Challenge. I hope to see you there. If you haven't registered, please register and join us this evening. Alrighty. Alrighty. Ciao.